ودانية عليهم ظلالها وذللت قطوفها تذليلا.
Reading inshallah from Surah Al-Fatiha. So we will say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismi means in the name of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the name of Allah. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahman, most merciful. Ar-Rahim, most compassion. So Bismil. When we join, there is a rule that we need to take care of and bear in our mind. We're going to repeat it over and over again, and you will notice it becomes easier and easier. But when you have this alif, the alif where there is like a small sad, head of sad, this means this alif is what we call hamzat was joining hamza. So basically this hamza is only pronounced if you are starting with it. When I'm saying Allah, I will say Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, like that. But if you are joining Bismil, you go directly to the next letter. You don't pronounce the hamza. I don't say Bismillah. Bismillah, that's incorrect because I'm joining. This hamza is not always hamza. You only pronounce the hamza if and when you are starting with it. If you aren't, as what we are doing here with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, all these hamza here, Hamzat Wasl, is dropped. These three hamza here, the Hamzat Wasl of Allah, of Ar-Rahman, and of Ar-Rahim. They are basically just dropped as if they aren't there. And then you start looking for the next letter. What is it? It's Lam. So here I say Bismil. Mil. Bismil. Don't stop here. If you stopped here, you are going to sound choppy. Mil, and then joining these together as if they are one word. Mil, Lahi, Ar-Rahman, Bismillahir, Rahman. Ha, with kasra. This alif we said is going to drop. And then you go directly to Ar-Ra. Why? Because it's with shadda. So we are going to explain this further just later. But for now, we say Bismillahir. Okay, so now moving on to the next ayah. Alhamdu. Here we pronounce the hamza because I'm starting. It's in the beginning and I'm starting with it. I didn't join Ar-Rahim with Alhamd. If I joined, like not stopping at this ayah here and joined, this again the same rule would apply. This Hamzat Wasl will be totally dropped as if it is not there. How would I know it's a Hamzat Wasl? Is because it's like an alif, as you can see, and there is sad, small sad, not a complete sad, just the head of a sad on top of it. Okay, this is different, for example, than an'amti here. This is hamza, what we call hamzat qat'a. So qat', it's cutting. Cutting means because you pronounce it either way. The hamza has to appear and will have to be pronounced. Whether you joined or say alladina aw right away if you are starting with it. Okay, so let's just go back to alhamd. Alhamdu means all praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamd, praise. Lillah, to Allah. Rabbi, Rabb means Lord. Al-Alamin, all the worlds. So it's a plural for world. Al-Alamin means our world, the world of jinn, the world of angels, and so on. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahim, Maliki. Take a note here of this small alif. That's why we say Maliki. Malik means the owner of. So if you own something, you are the Malik, right? So for example, that who owns an apartment or a condo or whatever, he is a landlord. He is Malik al-Bayt. He owns the house. He owns the apartment. Malik. You own your car, so you are a Malik of your car. Yawmi means day of al-din. Yawmi ad-din. Of ad-din. Yawmi ad-din. Ad-din means there are a lot of meanings for the word ad-din, but here the meaning is basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala owns Yawm of the judgment. Ad-din, the judgment day. Iyaka means you. We are basically talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You God, you Allah. Na'bud, serve and worship. And it's just an Arabic style that when you put the object here in front or before the verb, it means exclusive. You na'bud, worship Allah only. Which, like we could say, na'budak, na'buduka, na'buduka, we worship you. You, we worship, same meaning, but because of the order of it, it means we don't worship or serve anybody or anything else but you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa iyaka, same. You, nasta'een, seek help, seek assistance to allow us and to put the iman in our heart so that we can worship and serve you. Ihdina, guide us. Ihdina, guide us. Ihd, guide. Na, this addition is basically a pronoun for us. Ihdina, so guide us. As-sirata, the way. Al-mustaqim, straight. So the straight way or the straight path. As-sirata, path or way. Al-mustaqim, straight. يبقى guide us to the straight path. And once more, when we say ihdinas, we don't say ihdina as-sirat, we say ihdinas sirat. What happened here? Right, we are joining these two words, ihdina and as-sirat. So we know that this hamzat wasl, we said, will have to be dropped. Okay, so now what we have alif here and lam, right? This lam is with sukun originally, but here in the Quran, it doesn't have anything on top of it, which is an indication to drop it again. So some lams with al, especially with al, some lam you will have to pronounce, some you won't. It depends whether the letter after the lam is with shadda, you know, this sign here, that one, this is what we call shadda. So if the letter after the lam comes with a shadda, then this lam, you will notice that it doesn't have anything on top of it. So again, you do not pronounce it, you drop it. So now we have the alif al-wasl and the lam both dropped. And that, as we said, that's because we are joining now, right? Okay. If we are not joining, if we are starting with it, then we will pronounce the hamza, but the lam is still gonna be dropped because it's empty. Nothing is on top of it. What happened here? I go directly to the sad because now I don't have the hamza, I don't have the lam. I go directly to the sad. But I didn't say ihdina sirat. I didn't pronounce even this alif here. So again, also this alif here is dropped. You don't pronounce it. The reason for that is, and again, these rules is going to be repeated over and over again. So just try to gather and understand as much as you can, but we're going to practice it over and over again until it becomes second nature for you. But for now, this sad is basically with shadda. Any letter with shadda means it's actually originally two letters. So this is actually originally two sad. Okay? The first one is with sukun, sakina. The second one with kasra. That's why we have shadda, kasra. For example, here, this ya, we have shadda and fatha. Means this letter is originally two, but we combine them together just for ease of the tongue, ease of the tongue. Don't have to move your tongue twice because it's just basically the same articulation point, the same makhraj, the same letter. Okay? So here, for example, we said iya, right? Iyaka. We didn't say iyaka. If it was only one ya, we would have said إياك, 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 but that's incorrect. Actually, it's a reading, but it's a shadh reading. Is not mutawatir reading. So إياك, إياك. That's what we say. It's the same here. We say الصراط. So the sad is basically two letters, and the first one, as we just said, with sukun. So now we have this alif, which is with sukun. The alif is always with sukun. The alif like that, it doesn't have any haraka. It just harf, what we call mad, okay, extension. So you just extend the air. Ihdina, right? Extension. So that's not a haraka. So ihdina with the alif is with sukun. The sad, the first of these two, is also with sukun. In the Arabic language, Arabs don't like two letters comes together with sukun. So basically they tend to do something. Usually it's just dropping the first one. So that's why here we said ihdinas, dinas, nan, nas, right? The noon, fatha, dinas, dinas, dinas. We don't say na. So I didn't say the alif. I said noon, maftuha, with fatha, and then join it directly to the sad. Okay, so putting all that aside, we're gonna like have another situations like that with other words. We're gonna touch upon it again, but for now, I'm hoping that you gathered as much as you can with that. So اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, and we said what every word means. صراط means again way or path. What is the difference between الصراط and الصراط? This comes with alif wa lam, which is basically an article to define something specific you know about. الصراط, which is صراط? ده المستقيم. So there is something. صراط becomes more general, right? Nakira, what we call nakira. So it just all that like very high level for now, and we'll see as we go on. We're gonna be adding more and more like explanations about the Arabic language in terms of its style and meanings and so on. Anyway, الذين. الذين means those who, like those. صراط الذين, the path of those who you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أنعمت, blessed. أنعم, bless. Ta means أنعمت, we're talking to Allah. This ta here, it joined the word أنعمت, and because of it is a ta مفتوحة, it's what we call ta al-khitab. You are talking to someone, you will add a ta al-khitab. Like if you are talking to your friend or somebody else and saying هل ركبت, did you like ride, take the ride? ركبت, راكب, that's the verb, ride. Ta means you are talking to him, you. If you say ركبت, this means you did the verb. Okay, so because it is a ta مفتوحة, it's basically meaning you are talking to Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a fa'il, the subject. He did that. He did the blessing. يبقى أنعمت, أنت يا Allah, you God subhanahu wa ta'ala. عليهم, upon them. على, right? And then hum. Hum means them. يبقى أنعمت علي, on, upon them. عليهم means upon them. غيري. غيري means not those. يبقى غير, it's basically negating or the opposite, not those. يبقى صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم, and also not those that المغضوب from anger. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you didn't put upon them any anger. So, غير المغضوب عليهم, again عليهم, upon them, on them. ولا الضالين, and also not those who lost their path. ضال means lost the path. الضالين, this is plural because they are more than one. ولا الضالين. Okay, so I hope that is clear, and I'm sure that most of you already know the Al-Fatiha, so I don't think there were any difficult words here or anything that you don't know, but we are starting just seeking the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why we start with the Fatiha. hoping that Al-Fatiha inshallah would bless us and make this like serious easy for us and for me and for you. Now let's try and put it all together. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Maliki Yawmiddin, owner of the Day of Judgment. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. You alone, إياك, you alone, we worship. We is basically we got the we from the noon here, because the verb itself, worship, is عبد. That's the verb. When you add noon in the beginning of it, it makes it present tense for like talking about yourself, like as a plural. We worship. And again here, wa, إياك, you alone, we ask for help. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Show, another word for اهدنا, show, guide us, show us the straight path. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. The path, صراط, the path of those الذين whom you, those whom, which is الذين, both of these, those whom you blessed. Blessed, أنعمت, and we said the ta here because it is ta مفتوحة. That's basically you blessed. غير المغضوب عليهم, not the path of those who earn your anger, nor of those who go astray. Right? Okay, so at the end of this episode, I just want to thank you for joining and listening to the end of it. I hope it was beneficial to you, and until next time, inshallah.
صدق الله العظيم.